Okay, our next speaker is Christopher Robber, and he's running for the governor of Illinois next year. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for coming out. You guys hear me okay? How many in here love our law enforcement? Clap, raise your hand, something. Me too, me too. How about our military? And then one more question. Freedom. I am all about that. I'm all about that. I'm a former law enforcement officer, an Army veteran, and a turnaround specialist for Hardee's Doro Incorporated. And what that means is, when there was a problem at a store, they would say, hey, Roper, go fix it. So I'd go ahead and try to figure out what's going on and fix it. We have a lot of things in Illinois that's not our faults that needs fixed. And I put over 40,000 miles so far traveling around visiting, I call it visiting, with our Illinois family, not campaigning. I hate that word. It's just to me, it's an ugly word. We're all family. We're all Illinois family. Over 40,000 miles. And the biggest thing that I'm hearing, besides all this other taking away our freedoms, corruption. Corruption. Billions of dollars are being wasted, being stolen from us every year because of corrupt politics. It's not going to stand on my watch. I'm highly trained, highly specialized, and very experienced in fighting crime. Also, to make a good point on that, Rauner tried doing that, right? He said, hey, I'm gonna get rid of corruption. He had a lot to lose, a lot. He was a lot of money. I'm not a millionaire. I am not. I'm just like us. I struggle. I know what it's like to have to struggle. Hey, am I going to be able to feed my kids? Am I going to be able to pay my electric bill? I know what that's like. It's not fun. And a big part of that is because of our taxes, right? So, but when I go in to fight with my training, with my skill set, with my America First agendas, we're going to take corruption and get rid of it once and for all and hold every politician accountable, and we will not stop at just arresting them and slapping them on the wrist. We're going to get them the hell out of here and get them in jail where they belong. I have 6 kids, and 4 of them are boys, so I'm just the opposite. But they're all a pleasure to raise, and I'm trying to make sure that I raise my kids so that way they could be great adults and very active members of America. And so when I do that, I teach them to respect law enforcement, respect authority. And I noticed when I was in law enforcement, not a lot of people respect law enforcement, and now we're really starting to see it. Now we are going to pay for it, not because we wanted it, because our very irresponsible leadership decided we don't need police. So now, I'll tell you a real quick story. If say we're all at a party right here, right? We'll say we're outside at a bonfire. I love bonfires, by the way. Somebody comes in and starts causing problems. We call the police. Guess what? The police can't make them leave. They can give them a ticket and say, okay, you got to leave, and then that's it. We can't have that. We have to have law and order. I am 100% for law and order. We have to have safety. A lot of business owners. How many are business owners in here? Oh my, God bless you guys. It's especially now. Pritzker is horrid for business owners, and we're going to get rid of that. And what I say by that is the super high taxes that we have to pay to do business, just to live in Illinois. You know, when it rains, we get taxed for that. We can't have that. That's silliness. So we need to responsibly lower the taxes down over a period of time. We don't want to shock the system, but we got to lower them, responsibly. And also these mandates, especially you business owners, you've been through hell trying to keep your doors open. I know so many. I have friends with so many entrepreneurs that are struggling still. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear a mask. If you want to get a vaccine, get a vaccine. If you don't. What is that called? Freedom. And that's what it's all about. I'm a conservative constitutionalist Republican, and it is in that order for a reason. We have got to stand up for our Constitution. That is the supreme Bible, the law of the land, and they're chipping it away. Before we know it, our kids it's saddening. Our kids and our grandkids, if we don't stand up now, they may not have a constitution to protect it, and we can't allow that. we have got to stand up, and we're doing it here today. And like he said, you guys, it's very, very good that you're here. We have to stand up for freedom, and we have to do it like it's never been done before, because we have a radicalist agenda that is on all sides, but radicalism, period, will kill freedom, period, because radicalism is stomping on somebody else's rights. I support our Constitution. I'm a very big 2A guy. I hate the FOID card. I think it's ridiculous. Not a single criminal is going to go, hold on, I'm not going to kill you today because I got to get a FOID card. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. Criminals don't care about laws, rules, and regulations. The only people it hurts is us, law-abiding citizens. I support the concealed carry law. We have it. If we let it go, it's never coming back. So we've got to keep that. We have to keep what we have and fight like hell to get rid of the unconstitutional FOID card. That's one of the things. Critical race theory, like I said, I have 6 kids. 2 of them are adults, but 4 of them are still in public schools. CRT, get it the hell out of here. If you have to tell somebody because of the color of your skin or your ethnicity that you're a bad person, that's wrong. That's racist. Get it out. Why are we teaching our kids that they're not as good as somebody else because of the color of their skin? Isn't that going backwards? To me, that's backwards, and we can't have that. The sex education, that's pornography, and that's grooming our kids. They're being child molesters in school, but it's okay in school. But then they go outside, then it's bad. What is wrong with that? It's gross and disgusting, and pornography across the board. We're going to get it the heck out of here as well. Another thing is we need to bring God back to Illinois. We have lost, not us, but our government has lost God. It lost values of Christianity. That's what our country was founded on. And they want to sweep it out of here. Actually, they're not sweeping it, they're kicking it out of here. It's up to us to make sure that we don't let that happen. That's just a little bit about me. I just want you guys to know I stand for freedom. I don't quit. I am mission essential. Again, law enforcement, military, I don't stop. I have nothing to lose. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to kick some butt. And we are truly going to get rid of corruption once and for all instead of passing it off to the next governor. Ain't going to happen. God bless you guys. God bless America.
I have a question.
Oh, sure.
What about lowering taxes?
Oh, absolutely. We need to responsibly lower taxes. We can't, like I said, we can't do it very quickly because it'll shock the system. But we have got to very responsibly lower them down. And I'm not talking about just certain tax brackets. I'm talking about all of them. And we need to look at the sin taxes. To buy a soda, you get charged a sin tax. I mean, come on. We need less government. Less government. It's not hard. It's a very simple process. There was something else, too, I was going to talk about real quick, and I kind of slipped my mind. Do you guys have any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned CRT. Are you referring to the cultural responsive teaching that they just passed and that's going to be implemented?
Yeah, the critical race theory type thing. Yes. That.
Same thing with Senate Bill 818?
Yep, we need to get that. That is, to me, that's racism, and get the heck out. And when it goes into schools, they need to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic. Teachers, that's their job. Unfortunately, in Illinois especially, we've been taxed to death. So 2 members of the household, they usually, and it's supposed to be a family, a man and a woman, usually. But if you want to have something else, that's fine. That's on you. Don't force it on people. But 2 people have to work in a household because of the taxes. We've kind of almost relied on our schools to kind of raise our kids. And I think that was done by design by our government and the kind of the radicalist takeover, the socialist takeover. So we need to get back to, that's why we lower those taxes down. The teachers need to stay out of the parents' lanes and just stay in their lanes. They're very highly trained to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic, not teach our kids life. Anybody else have any questions? Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think we have a conservative majority in the state of Illinois? And 2, what can we do as an Illinois citizen to fight back against this tyranny?
So I was born and raised in central Illinois, just south of Peoria, just north of Springfield, right in the middle. I've only been out of Illinois long enough to serve our country and defend our freedoms. There is a lot going on, but again, I mentioned we talked about over 40,000 miles that I've traveled visiting with our Illinois family. And what I'm finding out is there are a lot of Republicans all over the state, which we kind of knew, south of 80, right? But I've been in Chicago a lot, and there are a lot of Republicans in Chicago. They're scared to death to say that they're Republicans. They call themselves closet Republicans. Their biggest problem that I noticed in Chicago is the corruption of their leadership. And that's something that I'm going to attack like no other. And what to do? Stand up, like we're doing here. Go to rallies, go to events. Voice our opinion, be loud and proud. Make a thunderous noise of freedom. And that's what we have to do. And run for office. Starting at the very bottom, all the way to the top. Run for office, get patriots in office. Because we have got to fight for America like we've never had to fight for it before. Now it's psyops. Now it's just leadership, government, elected officials that are just blatantly going out and saying, this is what you're going to do. And we're not having it. They won't listen to us. So we need to make sure we remind them they work for we the people, not the other way around. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about the bathroom policy?
Bathroom policy?
Yeah.
If you're a man, I learned this in school, and I think this is how it is, right? So when you're born with two different things. And I think Kindergarten Cop has said that. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina, right? And that's how it is. You should go into your respective bathroom. If they want to make a third bathroom that is just a unisex bathroom, do it. But boys should not be going in girls' bathrooms, genetic boys, and vice versa. That's how I look at it. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, if you guys do decide, if you think of anything else that you want to talk, or just find out more about me, go to ChristopherJRoper.org, or you can find me on Facebook if you just just look for me, Christopher J. Roper. But we have got, go ahead.
I was just wondering any thoughts on using the lotto for what it's supposed to be used for, education? I mean, couldn't that bring down some of this pension debt that we're looking at?
There's a lot of problems with the pension. We have a major problem with the pension. It's going to be gone if we don't do something with it. And that's not fair to many, many very, very hard workers that have gave their whole life to working for the state to get a pension. The lottery, the marijuana tax, all that's supposed to be going to helping those kind of things, right? That's what they said. Hey, it's going to help, it's going to help, it's going to help. Well, let me give you an example. And you'll see that this all comes right back down to corruption. Just the marijuana tax, I know that one very well. 39%. It's supposed to be going and helping, right? Okay, which, number one, that's way too high of a tax because now it's still cheaper to go out on the streets, so it's still bringing up more crime, but yet they're defending the police, or defunding the police. We're defending the police, so it makes no sense. But, and a good example is 39% of that tax, okay? Three quarters of that tax for the marijuana tax, it's gone. Where'd it go? It's gone. You can't find it. You can't find it anywhere. I can't find it anywhere. I've had many people looking for it too. It's gone. So there's the corruption. It keeps going full circle back to corruption. That's what we need to fix right now. Right now is corruption. Illinois is an amazing state. I'm proud an Illinoisan. And as I talk to a few people, it's getting hard to say that. It's kind of like, I'm a proud Illinoisan. It should not be that way. Illinois has everything imaginable to be the best state in the whole damn country. But our leadership is letting us down, and it's time to hold them accountable and make things happen and fight that corruption. And another thing is, Ron DeSantis of Florida is an amazing governor. I think he's probably the best governor that this whole country has, period, hands down. And he says a lot of things that are great, but one in particular, and I had been thinking about this as well, he has the Florida Guard that helps out police and things. Well, if they wanted to fund our police, I guess we'll work on getting that repealed. But why can't we have an Illinois Guard? Why can't we have an auxiliary force that helps our police, that helps our citizens when an officer can't be there? Why can't we? And we could do that through organizational funds. They don't have to come from the state. There's a lot of things that we could do that would help from organizational funds instead of coming from the state. But yeah, the pensions are a huge thing, and I think we need to bring in like a 401k type system. I would be the first governor that says, hey, I don't want my pension. I don't want it. I'll pay into a 401k, just like our military uses, thrift savings plan. I don't need a pension. I don't want it. because we need to start somewhere. Somebody's got to set the example. One, corruption, and two, examples. Lead by example. And when I close, well, first, does anybody else have any more questions? Go ahead.
My question is, what we can done with the election system, which is been stolen from us last time? Anything can be done in that regard.
Yeah. This past election was probably the most, I think, fraudulent election that we ever had. And we've always had fraud in our elections. We can't sugarcoat it at all. It's always been there. But I think this one was the biggest and baddest and the most corrupt. It was horrible. I am, as last I knew, I'm the only candidate for governor that is fully standing on we need a forensic audit here in Illinois. We need to clean up our books. We need to get the dead people out of here, people that don't live here anymore. We need to get that cleaned up. We also need to find out where votes are going. We need to make sure we get rid of the machines that are connected to internets, whether they are or they aren't. It doesn't matter. If they can connect, get them the hell out. We need paper ballots, hand counting, very strict chain of custody with the whole process.
No mail-in ballot.
No, except for absentee. I voted absentee when I was in the military. We got to have absentee ballots for our soldiers and people that aren't able to be in their state while they, for voting. But these mail-in drop-offs, these unsolicited ballots, get them the hell out of here. That's just asking for trouble, and we've seen that, right? We also need to have, go ahead.
What I was going to point out is that he asked what we can do is that we all have to sign up to actually work on the day of the polls.
Right.
Yes,
That's what we have to do.
absolutely.
We, from what I saw in the news, that Republicans were kicked out, they couldn't watch and everything like
Yep.
that, and all the Democrats were standing there pushing these ballots.
Oh, and then there's water main breaks.
And we
Yeah.
had to leave.
Yep.
So that's where we start, is we sign up to be poll watchers. We sign up to work the polls that day. We don't want to do it, but I think we have to do it.
Yeah, and that's a good point.
That's a big thing that a lot of us, me, myself included,
Yep.
have missed
Yes,
by
yes.
not taking part in that.
Well, we're conservative by nature, right?
Hands are there.
And we don't want to go out. We want to go to work. We want to feed our family, enjoy our family, go to church, enjoy, hunting, fishing, whatever it is you enjoy. It's time for us to take a page out of the Democrats' book. One thing that they do extremely well is band together, no matter what. We have got to band together and stand up with a huge, huge we the people voice. And that's something that I've called we the people flex. We can do it. We have to stand up. We have to get out of our comfort zones, like you said. We have to demand they let us be poll watchers. Don't take no for an answer. Don't take no. Our very existence relies on being able to vote and it matter and it count and it not be swayed around like Venezuela, right? We don't want to end up like that. But we're quickly turning to that point. It's very important. So very good points, though. Very, very good points. And we need to have voter ID. And it needs to be a strict process to get your voter ID. We are a sanctuary state, and I'll fix that too. I don't like sanctuary state. It's dangerous. It's not good for us at all. I am 100% for legal immigration. I met a wonderful young lady right there that 5 months ago, she got her citizenship to the United States. So proud. 100% for that. But illegal, get it the hell out of here. We need to secure our borders from federal to our state. Stop shipping in and just busting in all these illegals that we know nothing about. There's no vetting. And they say there's vetting, but there's no vetting. We don't know what these people are. And then they give them a whole bunch of money. And then, unfortunately, Rounder made it to where anybody can get a driver's license.
Yeah, because New York City Council just voted to give the voting rights to illegals.
Yeah, and I was watching that too, yeah. We got a lot of work to do, and again, it starts with us. It starts with us. We have to demand, as we the people, freedom. We have to demand transparency. We have to start running for office as patriots, as Americans, to make a difference. We've got to get out of our comfort zones. Anybody else? Go ahead.
The amount of fraud going on in the last election, how can we make sure that this time the election will not be frauded and taken away? What's your plan? Because electronic voting
About
is
process we check,
Yeah, right now it's difficult, and that's a fear of mine as well. Because what can we do right for 22 midterms, right? What can we do? The only thing I say is, man, for right now, we've got to pray, and get out and make sure we're poll watchers and find somebody in the GA that wants to put a bill forward to try to make our elections more truthful, more honest, and more reliable, more trustworthy. So really just getting up, standing up, and fighting, and talking with somebody that is in legislation that can make something happen. And that's really for this one, that's all we can do. Unless these guys back here probably got some great ideas, so they'll be coming up and talking as well. I've met a couple of them, heard a couple of them talk. So. Yeah, absolutely. Run for office, run for anything. Dog catcher, it doesn't matter. As long as we start getting put in places to where we can start pushing the conservative values and the constitutional values, I think we can't forget God. Anybody else? Okay. Guys, you are amazing. Thank you for being here. God bless you all.